Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 Xbox One review. Today I'm going to surprisingly be taking a look at Forza MotorSport 5, which I don't understand. It's the thing I'm going to mention straight away, as I'm sure a lot of people will. I don't understand why everyone, including Jeremy Clarkson, because the Top Gear UK team in this, I don't understand why they pronounce it Forza. There's no... I mean, if that's what it's called, that's what it's called, that's fine. At the end of the day, I hate it when people mispronounce things. It's why I always try to get the name right, and I like it when people tell me. But if this is Forza, why is there A, no T, between the R and the Z? And B, there's not even any umlauts or accents above any of the letters that would signify that it's pronounced Forza. You know, there's not even a space so that you can't even see it Forza. You know, that I don't get it. There's nothing that would suggest that if you weren't reading that for the first time that you'd call it anything other than Forza. And again, I don't get it. Anyway, it's a surprise that I'm reviewing this most likely because I hate realistic races. I've liked about as many as I can count on my left hand, and even then I think it's fewer. It's like, I believe I know it was Gotham 2. I absolutely loved Gotham 2. I played the hell out of it. And then I can never remember if it was Gotham 3 or Gotham 4. I think it was the one that added the motorbikes is the one I really hated. And I think that was Gotham 4. And I wasn't keen on Gotham 1 either. And I just... when it comes to realistic races or realistic games in general, I tend to stay away from them because real life sucks. Very rarely does something really good happen in real life that would make a good video game, and I don't understand why people want to play games that emulate real life. I mean, how far do you want to take it, you know? For Forza 6, or, well, to be fair, today it was just announced Forza Horizon 2, at least. I think it's the Horizon franchise from the other dev team. I mean, maybe in that the game should start with, you have just been given this car. Now you have to call an insurance agent and get car insurance. Please enter your age, 19. I'm not, by the way, I'm just saying, 19. There is no way in hell your insurance will cost you as much money as you've got. You're going to have to win a few races first. Hit OK. I'm sorry, you've just told us that you're going to plan a race with this car. We will not cover you at all. End of game. You know, in first-person shooters, the guy's about to go forward and beat the big bad boss in the end of Call of Duty, and he finds out from his doctor that he's terminal, he's only got a day to live. You know, it's just like, there you go, you can't complete the day, try again with a different character, maybe he'll have better health. I just don't get it, I really don't. Why would you play a video game to immerse yourself in real life? The whole point is you play a video game to forget about real life. Anyway, rant over, I've been sitting on this menu for too long. Forza, for anyone who hasn't played it, is a racing game. There's an expansive career mode, however loads of people are complaining that it's not as long, but I think it's just literally... The dev actually came out and they said it takes them 9 months to actually make a track for a game, and when you consider it was a different dev team that made the last Forza, I can only assume that they've been working on this one for quite some time, which is why it's been taking as long, and it's why the next dev team's doing the next Forza instead of Forza 6, you know? It's the sort of thing that once maybe they've upgraded all the cameras and that, and they've took all the recasts and everything, and the reshoots that they need to do, they'll probably be able to churn tracks out like mad for Forza 6, but at the end of the day, I think there's enough content in it. The only problem I've really got with it is how it handles DLC and shops and everything. It's a £40 season pass for what was originally 60 cars, and then they added 2 more packs. And if you're into cars and that's why you bought the game, then yeah, it's probably going to give you more play, but at the same time, this is where I think it should have been more tracks and things and not just cars, because at the end of the day, it would be like charging £40 for a DLC pass that adds 80 new weapons into Dead Rising to kill zombies with. Even if you absolutely love killing zombies, there's only so many ways that it can feel fresh, and as much as adding 80 cars will significantly beef it up, I can't imagine that they're all going to play so significantly differently that it's going to have been worth it. It is actually, when I was looking, one of the lowest rated things on the entire Xbox shop, so I think a lot of people have got the same opinion as myself when it comes to this one. And that's not me having to go at anyone who buys it. Some people get more enjoyment out of things than others, you know, and if you've bought it and you love it, then great. But for me, I will never buy the Season Pass. The content I got with the limited edition, which I managed to find a copy of that, is good enough for me, and that's about it. So that's basically the DLC. There's then microtransactions where you can basically pay to level yourself up faster, and that always annoys the hell out of me. There's Forza TV and Gallery and that at the start, which are self-explanatory things. It's like watching stuff. There's the tuning upgrade system, paint a car. There's your profile, your message center. There's then Rivals, where you take on leaderboards to surpass your friends. There's the multiplayer, and then there's the free player mode, which I'm just going to load up now, just to actually... must remember actually hit don't show this message again, because I keep forgetting. I don't understand this part of the system at all, why it needs to come up don't show this message again, you know. But every time I'll be too busy trying to skip it that I'll accidentally hit OK, and then I'll have to watch it again and again and again. And it's just one of those things. That's a little gripe for a different day. I suppose for now then I'll just start this so I can at least show the game off, because that's the other thing I'll say. When I first saw this, graphically, I thought it looked horrific. It was awful, and I now know it's because my local game store must have one of the worst brands and quality of TV I've ever seen, because they've got the same model for the PS4, and every PS4 game I've looked at looks terrible too, and then when I've got it on my own TV, it's just like, yeah, this is actually beautiful. So I was quite happy that it looked great, because the only experience I'd had kind of made it look like a 360 game, you know. It was really bad quality. It's the sort of thing that I wouldn't even be surprised if it wasn't even a HD TV that they had it on. It was that bad a quality. So when you put this on and you see it yourself, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's beautiful. It's just one of those, it's nice. And it's how I don't understand how a lot of people are saying that the Xbox One is significantly weaker in that sort of way. At any point did anyone hear me say Xbox pause there? Because that's what it just heard me say, and it just paused. Anyway, it's just one of those. The system itself is notably weaker in certain ways, because I mean we know the specs of it, but at the same time I don't think at this year it's enough of a difference. Maybe in 8 years time, when the max out both systems, you know, then there might be a huge difference between the quality of the games graphically. But I personally think so far I've not really noticed any difference at all, and I've got some games that look far better on the Xbox One than they do on the not the X360 or the PS4, you know. And this really is jaw-dropping, and it's one of those series where graphics, it's kind of almost okay to say that you're buying it for the graphics, because they always do such a good job. But at the same time, gameplay is where it counts. And as I've already mentioned, I don't like realistic races. But this, and this is where a load of people are immediately going to hate me, has one of the best teaching tools, it seems, is the only way to put it, that I've ever experienced on a racer. It's allowing me to get better at them, because it's all of the assists. And loads of people say, oh, you should never use driving assist on a game. But at the end of the day, if you can't play them because you're bad at them, like myself, then surely they're a good thing, not so much to beat the game with, you know, but in order to actually get you good enough so you can play without them, maybe for either the next game or maybe by midway through the game or something. I mean, I've got everything set to default now, to what it is from the moment you put it out the box, just to basically show you. And it's this driving line. This is the only thing that I've noticed that significantly helps me. It pretty much teaches you where to go on a course. It's not perfect, I'll be honest. There's sometimes where I'm thinking, why the hell's it taking me veering left? I've cut the corner much tighter myself, and I've noticed my lap times have gone down. But then it's also got a different colour system as well, and it teaches you when to start applying the brakes, when to start applying the throttle, and it allows you to actually play it really well. And it's... whenever I played Project Gotham and all that, there was always the point where it got to, yeah, I can't play this game anymore, and I never really got to finish them. I got like 3/4 of the way through, and then my brother had to play them, and it's one of those. With this, it's the case of the power cars, actually I can play as them. And that's the point where I got Gotham, where I couldn't play anymore, because it was giving me the power cars, and I would just 360 instantly. I'd skid around, I'd do everything. And I'm sliding here, but that's probably because I'm not really concentrating. I'm just trying to get round the track and talk about the game. But when you first boot it up, it gives you the McLaren F1 2013. And firstly, it's a beautiful looking car. Secondly, I thought, oh man, I'm not even going to be able to play the training. It then came up, don't worry about winning. I won by miles because the driving system was so good and it taught me how to play the game. There's also a rewind function, which I'm going to hopefully demonstrate now. Basically, if you do something severe and you crash, then you can rewind a little bit. And it's a great tool as well, but I'll be honest, it's something that I haven't actually used when I'm racing properly. It's something that I don't want to get myself to that point of racing. Don't get me wrong, there probably will come a point where I'll balls it up right on the final corner and go from 1st to 5th, and I'll probably immediately hit rewind to try and stop that from happening, because if it's a long lap or something, you know, then I'll think I don't really want to have wasted the last 5 minutes of my life. But at the same time, it's not the sort of thing that I want to see myself using. But I mean, as you can see from just using it again, it can help you. Sometimes it can't. There, I'd set myself up to go around the corner badly. And when I hit rewind, I was able to recover a little bit, but it didn't let me rewind so far so that I could just totally retake it. So I think it's also got a good balance to basically teach you how to play and say, listen, you can use it, but we want to make it so that you don't want to use it. And it's just why I was actually able to play the game and why I fell in love with it and found a series that if Forza 6 is like this and if Horizon's like this as well, then I can see me getting them. I really can. Whereas before, I'd played, I think Forza 3 was the only one I hadn't actually played. And I hated the others. I hated 1, 2 and 4. And I just kept thinking, nah, can't play this, can't. It's just not, no, can't play it. And this, it's everything together. I was able to actually play it, and I'm going to enjoy playing it for many time to come. I mean, the fact that we can play split screen as well is great. It's just one of those. I still think I ultimately prefer Project Gotham. I liked everything about it. I liked how the kudos system worked. I like how the zany trials you could get, like going through the cones and maybe starting, so you do one corner and then go into a straight, so you had to perfect just going around that corner. And it in itself was a teaching tool, because it basically taught you how to corner with certain cars. So I think I still prefer the Gotham series, and it's a shame that Microsoft decided to, well, basically get rid of it, because they got rid of Bizarre Creations, they then went to Activision, who then totally disbanded the team, and now I'm thinking it's yet another great British dev that's gone the way of the dinosaur, no thanks to Microsoft, you know? Because, I mean, look at what they've done to Rare as well, and I just, oh, that one really does. Rare were my favourite developer of all time. There was nothing they could do that made me think, I don't like this. You know, it was just every single thing they churned out. I thought, yeah, this is awesome, this is awesome. And then Microsoft got them, and it's just like, what? What the hell happened to Rare? And it's just a shame, because I don't so much have huge pride or anything for my country, but because I'm a gamer, I've always got huge pride in the games industry in this country, and it's just a shame when you see British devs go down the pan. And it's one of them. I can't slag off the Forza guys or anything like that at all, and it's just it's not me having a go at them at all. You know, they are a great dev team. Clearly, as I say, it always makes me reminisce about Gotham when I play a game like this, and I then think, oh yeah, Gotham was great. Oh, Bizarre Creations, they were great. Ah yeah, now they're dead. Such a shame. You know, it's just one of those things, though. I've been warbling on for the last 5 minutes, I think, so I think I'm just going to leave it there and say that if you're scared to death of realistic races for the fear of constantly going off on that, pretty much the same as myself, this is something that you probably need to look into, because I think it's almost like what I said with Killer Instinct, where Killer Instinct had the training simulator that taught you not just how to play Killer Instinct, but how to play fighters. It doesn't just teach you how to play Forza, it teaches you how to play realistic races. and it's the sort of thing that I think it's well worth an investment if you're trying to get into the genre, you know. So yeah, while some people complain it's light on content, personally I found I got more than enough time. But maybe that's simply because I hadn't played the other one, and maybe for all I know, Forza 4 could actually be twice as large, and that's why people are complaining. But because this is the first one, for me, really, that I've actually been able to sink my teeth into, I think it's got more than enough content for me to be happy with it. More than enough cars for me plays different classes and that, and more than enough tracks for me to not so much get bored with it or anything. It's just a shame that even here, though I've not really been driving particularly well or anything, I've just been messing around for the most part, I'm still going to absolutely laugh at the competition, and I don't know why. Because it's supposed to be, and this is, I suppose, the one thing that I've mentioned, the AI on the game, it's a great system when it works, but there I don't think it worked at all for me. I don't know why. Maybe I chose easy mode or something without knowing. The AI itself actually scans people's driving, they call them drivatars. As you play the game, it tracks how you play it, and then it puts you in the cloud for other people to play against you. So you're never actually playing against AI, you're technically playing against other people, even when you're playing single player. And it's a great system when it works, because it means you're always going to get people competitive. It's never going to get to the point where you're absolutely laughing at everyone every single race because you're so amazing. Instead, it's going to be a case of it constantly ups you and it ups them too. And there is, when you play in the career and that, there is a way to make it so that they're harder, and you can get more bonus points for it, more credits to be able to buy more cars and things like that. Or you can make it easier if you're really struggling and you'll get less credits. So I think the whole difficulty curve on the game works extremely well, actually, and I'm annoyed that I've almost mentioned it as an afterthought at the end of the vid because I was too busy talking about Bizarre Creations. So I think now is probably a good time to end, because I don't think I forgot anything else. I mean, what the hell else is there to really say? It's a realistic racer. It's not as if it's that deep and expansive with like a story or anything, because it's a racing game that there is no story, you know. So yeah, I think that's everything. Just to very quickly sum up, if you don't like realistic races, it's something to look into. If there's any way, if any of your mates have got one, you know, maybe go around and say, listen, can I have a couple of races because I'm thinking about it. It's just one of those, it is something to look at, it really is. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there. And don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.